up, guys? Welcome back to another video with all bikes. I figured I'd make a review on this bike, the MV Agusta Brutale 800RR, and not just a review on just like the bike itself, but I think MV as a brand as well, because it's not like, at least here in the US, it's not very popular. It's considered more of like one of those exotic Italians, and a lot of people stay away from that, like a multitude of reasons. Just in general, I think Italian bikes or anything that's not Japanese, people just are quick to label as, you know, unreliable or a bike that you should stay away from. I've had an RSV4, I've had Japanese bikes. Before that, Ducati, obviously I didn't have, but it's another Italian brand that has, you know, the unreliability label smacked onto it for some reason. But yeah, MV is, I probably think it's one of the least owned bikes here in America. This obviously is my first MV. Before this, I was considering getting a Super Duke or the MT-09, but then I saw this and I was just drawn to it. It looks different, it looks nice. It has like the exotic look, and that's what MV is known for in all of their bikes. I don't think they make an ugly bike in their whole lineup. Yeah, I've had this for, I mean, not long, but I've ridden it now enough. I think I can give my thoughts on what I feel about this bike. It's the RR, so there's a base 800 and then there's the RR, which is like, I guess, the sport version, if you want to call it. It makes a lot more power, it's more aggressive, like the styling is a little more aggressive, and I think it looks really good. I mean, compared to just the base 800, I think this looks so much better. So yeah, it makes about 140 horsepower, obviously not to the wheel, but it is definitely very fast. 3 cylinders, so it sounds really good. The only real bike that I think I can compare it to is the XSR 900 that I've ridden. Obviously that's 900 cc's, it's a little bit bigger, but it's still a 3-cylinder. Similar style of motorcycle, if I were to say. Obviously that XSR 900 has a little more torque, it gets faster off the rip. Like, as a bike, I think it's great. Before this, I only ever heard of MV Agusta through like YouTube videos, seeing some of their bikes like the Brutale 1000 or the Rush, even the Super Veloce. The looks is what appealed to me the most right away. The one, I guess, main issue of this bike, if you live here in the US at least, like the lack of support you have when it comes to maintenance or parts. It's almost like non-existent. Like, officially there's only, I think, 2 dealerships in the whole country. One's in LA and one's in Florida somewhere. Even them, like, if you reach out to them for anything, a lot of the stuff they have to order directly from Italy. That takes at least like almost a month it takes for whatever you want to get. So that is something that you have to like deal with. Is it worth it? Honestly, I don't know. If you're buying a bike just for the name or the brand, I don't think that's a good idea, because like there's got to be more to the bike. Sometimes just the brand makes people, you know, buy something, and then in reality it's never really as good. MV as a brand is very good, but it's also true that MV as a brand here in America is not that good, because if something breaks down, something goes wrong on your bike, one, you either have to figure it out yourself, or your bike is now done for a few months because you can't get the part, or there's not like a certified mechanic to work on it. So that is annoying, I'd say. But I've also heard a lot of people say that they love their MV so much, whatever model that may be, they love it so much that they're willing to put up with all the issues. And it's true, like if you buy something premium or exotic, buy like a Ferrari or a Lambo or whatever, you know, anything exotic, you can't expect Toyota style reliability. That's the case for MV Agusta here in like America. In Europe and obviously Italy, I think it's probably a lot more easier to get parts, mechanics, because the dealers are there. It's based out of Italy. I've also heard that MV, like a lot of dealers that used to work with MV don't work with MV anymore, almost like they were going out of business or something. I'm not too sure what actually is going on. Most of their bikes, their ECUs are locked. If you get an exhaust, like a full system, you can't really tune it unless you have permission from MV. And I think to do that, you have to send your ECU to them or something like that. They have to like unlock it through the van and whatnot. That's kind of what the process is. I don't know what it is to be exact, because again, there's no information. I think they sell like a race ECU with certain bikes, but those are like the premium exotic bikes, which cost 80 to 100k. It's, I think, absurd, but it's, I guess, understandable for like what the brand is. Riding this bike, you can tell, it's very good at what it is. It's 800cc, so it's not like something super powerful, but it's making a lot of power, very quick, and it gets up there in top end too. It goes. And this was fully stocked, by the way, so I can only imagine what a proper setup bike, the proper exhaust and a tune, like I can only imagine how fast that would be. One thing that I noticed at lower speeds, it is not the most like smooth. Maybe that's because of the setup, the chain and sprocket. I mean, obviously it could be tweaked, but that's stock too. So it's not like the smoothest when you're taking off from slow speeds. Certain gears feel very dead, and obviously that's because of the stock tune. They obviously have to deal with like the emissions and all that kind of stuff. So I think I noticed second gear the most, which feels kind of like dead unless you really get up into the high RPMs. This bike is also equipped with it's called the SCS clutch, so you don't have to hold the clutch in. Like if you're at a red light and it's in first gear, you can just leave it and hit the throttle and it goes, so you don't have to pull in the clutch and all that kind of stuff, which you have to do with another bike. It is nice, but I prefer just having a normal clutch, you know? Sometimes when you're slowing down, you downshift into lower gears. If you have a clutch, you can control it manually. You can control this clutch manually, but it's like interfering with the SCS system. Like you feel it automatically going into that like neutral position, so it's like a little bit jumpy for some reason. Obviously, looks wise, it's I'd say it's up there in probably the best looking naked bikes. I'm not talking just this model. Like if you look at any of their bikes, especially the Brutale 1000, the Rush, obviously they have a bunch of other special edition ones. They look amazing. Like most naked bikes like aren't the best looking, I'd say. I mean, I'm personally a fan of the Super Duke. That also has a single-sided swing arm and stuff. I think that looks really good. Most other naked bikes honestly don't look that good. The Street Fighter is an exception, but again, that's Ducati as well. The new gen MT-09s I think look better now compared to what they were. The look itself I think is pretty cool. You can like properly mod it out. So many little parts you can get to color match in different styles. On the other side, there's like a clear clutch cover you can get, which looks so good. It definitely can look better, but just stock alone, I think it looks really good. Front brake, I wouldn't say is the best. It's okay. There's obviously like engine braking settings you can play around with if you want. It's not like horrible, but definitely could be better. Same with the rear brake. It's not like non-existent, but it's poor, I'd say. As my first proper naked bike, I really like it. I always had leader bikes, R1, ZX10, RSV4. Going from that to something like this, like you don't feel like a big drop off in terms of performance or enjoyability, or if anything, it's easier to ride on longer trips or in traffic. You still get a lot of power, maybe not 200 miles an hour type thing, but you're not really doing that all the time anyways, and it's more forgiving, you know? I think this is a really good bike. It's not perfect, again, because the brand in this country, MV as a company, you lack a lot of things in terms of like getting any sort of aftermarket stuff. If you need service, that is a major, obviously it's a major thing, and that's why a lot of people don't even consider, you know, getting bikes like this, because they just don't want to deal with the hassle. Like before I got the Aprilia, I was looking at what to get. A lot of people I heard like, don't buy it because it's gonna be in a shop more than it will be on the road. And then I had it and it was not bad. Like I had no problems. Granted, it wasn't old. Like reliability, you can't really tell till like later down the line. Yeah, I had no issues with the bike, and it was super easy to work on too. And same with this, like every bike, every company they'll make certain bikes that for one person it'll be flawless. The other person, the same year, same model, maybe the same mileage, it'll have some problems. And I guess that's just how it is with like cars and bikes in general. It doesn't matter what the brand is. They all have their little things. The only difference is some are cheaper to fix than others. So the only other thing that I'm not like the biggest fan of is the suspension. You can adjust it from up here, but it doesn't really do much. It's not that good. I don't know. Maybe that's just my preference. If I could change anything, obviously it would be like dealer support or just parts. I guess it's always just going to be one of those exotic things that you just have to deal with. But if anyone owns any of this brand's bikes in a different country, I would love to know how different it is over there compared to here. But anyways, if you watched the video, thank you for watching, and hopefully I will see you in the next one.